Hi everyone, and welcome to the deck tech for Sapphire Empress. This is our new structure deck coming out from Legion's Realms at War. I'm Sylas with Team Shockwave, and let's get into it. First thing you'll notice when you open the deck comes with two packages. The first one you want to look at is this one. Once you open the package here, you'll be looking at your 4 left side cards, and then the start of your main deck. Then you'll want to open the second package. The second package will have the rest of your main deck cards, which will be these 4 right here. You can stick those on the bottom of our main deck. It'll have 5 Sapphire Liger tokens, have some useful tooltip cards, turn structure, card types, strategy, learn to play and rules, and some new resources for players. The last little section here is going to be just some extra cards that you can build a sideboard with or tune your deck to your liking. Now that we have our deck all sleeved up, let's take a closer look at our left side pieces. First up is your Warlord Ful'Tigra, the Fandorian Sapphire Empress. Notably, she is a Fandorian card. With her 80 DCM, she is the healthiest hero warlord. She has a special ability that consumes 10 Bloodborne and manifests 2 Sapphire Ligers with attack 5, and then it bestows +2 attack to all Sapphire Liger hero warrior tokens you control. Her magical attack deals 2 damage to all opposing warriors for each Sapphire Liger token you control, and her physical attack is a solid 4 damage. She's going to go over here. Next is your Fandorian Veil, the Veil of Pride. As with every Veil, it starts at 3 and ticks down, and on your 3rd turn, it's going to search your deck for a Fandorian Hero Warrior and conscript it, and then until the start of your next turn, all Fandorian Hero Warriors cannot be removed from the field by opposing players' card effects. And that's going to go over here. Next up is your Synergy, Fandoria Shall Never Fall. A cooldown 4 synergy. You revive 2 Fandorian Hero Warriors from your discard pile to your side of the field, and then you make 2 Sapphire Liger Hero Warrior tokens. Then, reduce the DCM of your Warlord by 5 for each Sapphire Liger token you control. This is a good way to fill your board up on turn 3. Finally, your Guardian, Baruch. Baruch is the Fandorian champion with an AP of 60. At the start of the game after mulligans, he manifests 1 Sapphire Liger Hero Warrior token. Anytime after turn 3, when your Warlord destroys at least 1 warrior by battle, you can consume 5, target 1 Fandorian Hero Warrior on your side of the field, and that warrior can make additional attacks equal to the number of Sapphire Liger tokens you currently control. This is a good way to finish out games. Next up, let's take a look at our warriors. First off is our Fandorian War Chief Ful'Tigra. Arguably one of the best warriors in your deck. He has Wisdom, which allows you to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to hand, and put the other on the bottom of your deck. As filtering through your deck is incredibly important in this game, this is a very strong keyword. The second keyword he has is Retaliate. So whenever he gets attacked, however much damage he takes, he deals that much damage to your opposing warlord. So if your opposing warlord has, for example, a 10 attack warrior, you can attack Ful'Tigra into it and deal 10 damage to their face. Next is Ful'Tigra. He has Swift, which is Consume 5, and you can play him from your hand during either player's turn. He's a great blocker, especially with his Perish, which conscripts another Fandorian from your hand to the field. He's a 2-for-1, essentially. Next is Ful'Tigra. She's our Dryad. She has 2 keywords, the first one being Propagate. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can destroy 1 warrior with Blockade on the board. Then if you do, conscript a warrior from your hand that shares the same color as this warrior. You do have some warriors with Blockade in your deck, or if your opponent has any, you can also destroy those. Next up is Flourish, which is once per turn you can destroy a unified card on your side of the field and give +3 attack to all warriors on your side of the field that isn't Ful'Tigra. Next is Ful'Donia. She's a very simple warrior. She has Shockwave and Perish. Her Shockwave destroys any warrior on the board with the original attack 2 or less, and her Perish just destroys any warrior. She's a good removal piece. Our last 1-attack warrior in the deck is Fandorian Freedom Fighter. He has 2 keywords, first one being Swipe, that says all opposing players must discard a card if they have one, and Retrieve, which says you add any hero card from any hero unified or fortified from your discard pile back to your hand. He's a great recovery piece. Our first 3-attack warrior is Fandorian Shaman Ful'Spirita. She has Illuminate, which when she enters, she lets you look at all of your opponent's fortified set. However, she does also reveal all of your fortifieds, and she has Immobilize, which gives any 2 warriors on the board blockade. Our second 3-attack warrior is Ful'Tigra. He has blockade innately, which is great to use in combo with Ful'Tigra, and he has 2 parishes. The first one targets any Fandorian hero warrior not named Ful'Tigra in your discard pile and revives it. His second one lets you target any Fandorian hero fortified card in your discard pile, pay Bloodborne 3, and add it to your hand. Our last warrior is Ful'Tigra. He's just a 5-attack, and he's just used to deal some damage. Next up, we'll look at our first Unified, Fandorian Outpost. One of the best Unifieds in your deck. This is an active Unified, so it'll stay on the field after you play it. You bestow +2 attack to all Fandorian hero warriors on your side of the field. Once per turn, you can pay Bloodborne 2 and search your deck for any Fandorian hero card. That's any card with Fandorian in the name. If this face-up card is destroyed by a card effect, you can script 1 Fandorian hero warrior from your hand to your side of the field. Our next card is Fandorian Champion Sash. This is an armament card, so you play it and it equips to any warrior. Now, notably, this is Guardian locked to Baruch, so Baruch must be your Guardian if you play it. This card can also only equip to a Fandorian warrior, no putting your Champion Sash on your Liger. Each time a warrior equipped by this destroys another warrior by battle, you can draw 1 card. And if it's in your discard pile, except for the turn you send it there, you can pay Consume 5 and Eradicate it, and then draw another card. Next up is our last 3-copy Unified card, Fandorian Galahorn. This is a Bloodborne 8 card, so it has quite a cost to it, but it lets you search your deck for any Fandorian hero warrior with the attack of 3 or more, and can script that search warrior to your side of the field. Then, you destroy 1 face-up card, and draw a card. So this is similar to the 3-for-1. Notably, it is also once per turn. Next up is Maravin's Ancient Text. This is our search card. One of them comes in the starter deck, but it is incredibly powerful. It lets you search for any 2 hero Unifieds, and add them to your hand. You can also only play this once per turn. Next is Aided by the Squire. Activate this card only if your opposing player has more warriors than you, and then search your deck for 1 hero warrior with the attack of 2 or less and conscript it. This is not once per turn, so as long as your opponent has more warriors than you can do this as many times as you want. Next up is Fandorian Warbanner. This is synergy locked to Fandoria and It Shall Never Fall and is another armament card. You can also only play this on a Fandorian hero warrior you control. It statically bestows +2 attack to all other Fandorian hero warriors, so the warrior equipped with it doesn't gain the benefit. Additionally, if this card is in your discard pile except the turn it was sent there, you can pay Consume 5 and equip it to any of your Fandorian warriors on the board. Next up is Fandorian Ligerclaw. This is a card that costs Bloodborne 5, and it can only equip to a Fandorian warrior you control. It bestows +2 attack and grants them the keyword Condemn. Condemn says anytime this warrior destroys another warrior by battle, you can deal 5 damage to any target. You could pay Consume 5 and destroy this equipped card as well, and then manifest 1 Sapphire Liger to your side of the field. You can only control 1 of these at a time. Next up is Help from the Hood. This is a great card because it lets you search your deck for any 3 armament cards and send them to your discard pile. And then, if this card is in your discard pile, you can pay Bloodborne 6 and Eradicate it, and then destroy warriors on the field equal to half the number of armament cards in your discard pile, rounded down. You can only activate each effect of this card once per turn. Last up is Fandorian Keep. When this card is first activated, you can search your deck for 1 hero fortified card and add it to your hand. This is an act card, so it'll also stay on the board afterwards. Once per turn, you can pay Bloodborne 5, and if you set 1 hero fortified armament card from your discard pile onto your side of the field. This will be really useful to us later. If this is destroyed by a card effect, you can also revive 1 Fandorian hero warrior from your discard pile to your side of the field. Next up, let's take a look at our fortifieds. First, we have Thornhaven's Fandorian Falls. This fortified costs Bloodborne and Consume 5. All non-hero warriors lose all keyword abilities in all zones. Deck, discard, eradication, it doesn't matter, they have no keywords, until the start of your next turn. If this card is in your discard pile during an end phase of an opposing player's turn, you can eradicate this card face up and revive 2 Fandorian warriors from your discard pile with the original attack of 2 or less to your side of the field. Next up is Fandorian Jungle Spikes. Another synergy-locked card to Fandoria Shall Never Fall. This card costs Consume 10. However, if your warrior is being attacked directly, you can play this without activating its Consume cost. What this card does is it targets 2 warriors on the field and sends them to the discard pile, just gets rid of them. You can only activate it once per turn. Next up, we have Increase the Pressure. This card lets you target 1 warrior on the field attempting to activate a keyword ability, and then if you do, you can negate the activation of that and destroy the warrior. If it's in your discard pile, except for the turn it was sent there, you can search your deck for an armament card, eradicate it face up, and then set this card face down onto your side of the field. Fandorian Ferocity. At Bloodborne 10, this card is quite expensive. However, if your opposing player has activated 3 or more unified cards this turn, you can activate this card from your hand into an empty fortified zone you control. You may target 2 unifieds or 2 fortifieds, it has to be 2 of the same type, and then destroy them. and then you deal 5 damage to any target. This card is also only once per turn. Fandorian Machete. This card can only equip to a Fandorian hero warrior you control, and it bestows +3 attack to the equipped warrior. If that warrior destroys a warrior by battle, you can sacrifice one other warrior you control, and then that warrior can attack again. You can only do that once per turn. If this card is added to your hand or set face down by the effect of a Fandorian card, you could pay Bloodborne 6 and equip it to any Fandorian you control. Next up, we have Fandorian Halberd. This card equips to a hero warrior you control and bestows +4 attack. If that warrior destroys another warrior by battle, you can target one card in any player's hand, and the targeted card must be discarded. If this card is equipped to a Fandorian hero warrior, the targeted warrior cannot be destroyed by card effects. Next, we have Fandorian Leather Striders, another armament card. This card equips to a hero warrior you control and bestows +1 attack to them, and they can make an additional attack each turn. If this card is added to your hand or set face down on your side of the field by a Fandorian hero card, you can immediately equip it to a Fandorian warrior, similar to Machete. Last up, we have a Lorien Longbow. This card gives any hero warrior you control +3, and when that warrior destroys another warrior by battle, you can destroy one unified or fortified card on the field, face up or face down. If this card is in your discard pile, except for the turn you sent it there, you can target one hero warrior and play Bloodborne 3 and equip it. Let's draw and open a hand, and this hand is going to be predetermined to be one of the best possible hands for the deck. It's going to be a Fandorian Outpost, Fandorian Gallarhorn, Forgotten Fandorian Keep, Help from the Hood, Fandorian Warchief Ful'Tigra, and Maravin's Ancient Text. Let's start by playing through this hand, and just kind of explaining how the deck wants to function. After mulligans, Baruch is going to place a Sapphire Liger onto the board. It doesn't matter where. Then we would tick down our Veil, and because we're going first in this instance, we're not going to draw a card. The first thing we're going to do is conscript Fandorian Warchief Ful'Tigra. Since he has Wisdom, we're going to get to look at the top 2 cards of our deck, a Sapphire Liger Claw and a Fandorian Striker Fulgos. In this instance, because we're not going to be able to do combat damage this turn, let's grab a Fulgos. The Liger Claw will then go on the bottom of our deck. Next up, let's start thinning our deck out a little bit. We're going to activate Help from the Hood. Now this unified card lets us search any 3 armament cards from our deck and send them to the discard pile. We're going to send the Sapphire Liger Claw we just saw. We're going to send a Fandorian Machete. And we're going to send a Fandorian Champion Sash. The Liger Claw we want in there so that we can retrieve it later. The Machete, anytime we would set it face down, we can immediately equip it. And the Fandorian Champion Sash, that's just some setup for next turn. Now that that's all resolved, next, let's activate Maravin's Ancient Text. This is going to cost 20 of our consume, but it's going to let us search for any 2 hero unified cards. First up, we're going to search another Fandorian Outpost and a Fandorian Liger Claw. These cards will go to our hand, and Ancient Text will go to the discard pile. Next, we'll play a Forgotten Fandorian Keep. This will let us search for any Fandorian or any hero fortified. We're going to add Thornhaven's Fandorian Falls. Next, let's activate a Gallarhorn. This will cost us 8 life, but it'll put a warrior on board for us. In this instance, we're going to be looking for Ful'Tigra. Then, Fandorian Gallarhorn will get to destroy a card and draw me a card. In this case, because my opponent has no cards, as this is my first turn, we're going to destroy our Ful'Tigra, and then draw a card. We've drawn a Fandorian Warbanner, which is a good card, however, it doesn't really help us much right now. Next, we're going to activate our first Fandorian Outpost. We're going to pay 2 life immediately to search for a card. We're going to search a second Fandorian Outpost with that. And that card is going to search us another card. We are going to find a Ful'Tigra to help us set up for next turn. Next, what we want to do is we want to put our Fandorian Liger Claw onto our Ful'Tigra. The only reason we're doing this is we're going to immediately destroy it. Send it to the discard, pay our cost, and manifest another Sapphire Liger. The reason we do this is now, in our discard pile, we have 4 armaments. Now we're going to activate Help from the Hood from our discard pile. We're going to pay Bloodborne 6 and we're going to destroy 1 warrior on the field. And in response to that, we're going to swift the Fulgos out of our hand. Fulgos will enter, and then Help from the Hood will destroy one warrior. We're going to destroy the Fulgos. The reason we do this is because now we can play our Ful'Tigra, because of Fulgos' Perish. Ful'Tigra has two incredibly useful keywords to us at this point. The first keyword that Ful'Tigra has is Propagate. The second one is Flourish. We're going to activate Flourish first in this case. We're going to Flourish away our Forgotten Fandorian Keep. When this card gets destroyed by a card effect, it lets us revive any Fandorian warrior. So we're going to revive Fulcona. Now because he has Wisdom, we get to look at the top two cards again. This is two warriors. Not a great Wisdom, but we'll take the Ful'Tigra here. Next up, we'll activate our Fandorian Outpost, paying 2. We're going to grab a Fandorian Ferocity here. Now, nearing the end of our turn, we're going to set this card face down. That was the Fandorian Falls that we searched earlier. And we're going to keep our Ferocity in hand, so that at the end of our opponent's turn, after they've played more than 3 Unifieds, we can activate it, and they don't have the chance to remove it from the field. This would be a sample turn for a great hand. Now, let's reshuffle and take a look at just a random hand. Alright, now that we've reshuffled, let's try to draw another hand. This is just random out of the deck. Our hand is Maravin's Ancient Text, Fandorian Ferocity, Fandorian Chieftain Fuljama, Fandorian Jungle Spikes, Fandorian Warbanner, and Fandorian Warchief Fulcona. Now, this hand is alright, but for the sake of it, let's just take a mulligan, see what we get. These 6 cards are going to go on the bottom of our deck, and I'll draw 6 new cards. For the sake of this, let's assume our opponent isn't mulliganing. There's a Fandorian Gallarhorn, an Increase the Pressure, Fandorian Leather Striders, Fandorian Freedom Fighter, Fandorian Striker Fulgos, and Fandorian Outpost. For the sake of this hand, let's assume we are going second. So my opponent has some things on the board. Before the game starts, Baruch will make us a Sapphire Liger. After our opponent ends their first turn, we'll start. We'll start by drawing a card. Our first card drawn is a Fandorian Champion Sash. Here, let's start with a Fandorian Gallarhorn. We're going to activate it and search our deck, and simply let's just grab the Fuljama that we know is on the bottom of our deck. Now, in this case, because our opponent has had a turn, it's safe to assume they have some cards on the field, so let's use Gallarhorn to destroy one of those. And then Gallarhorn will draw us a card. That's another Fandorian Freedom Fighter. Next, let's activate Outpost. Outpost will search your deck for the second Outpost, which will then search your deck again for the third Outpost, which will then finally search your deck for a Fandorian Keep. This is a very typical playline for getting out Outposts to buff your board. Don't forget, each Outpost statically bestows +2 attacks on all your Fandorian hero warriors. So currently, every Fandorian warrior on our side of the field has +6. Now, because we've activated the Keep, we're going to search for a fortified card. In this case, we're going to find Thornhaven's Fandorian Falls. This is one of the strongest fortifieds in the deck. I highly recommend searching it whenever you can. We will conscript a warrior for turn. He's going to swipe a card out of the opponent's hand, and he's going to retrieve, which means the Fandorian Gallarhorn gets to come back to our hand. However, as it is a once per turn, we don't get to play it again. Next, let's activate our Fandorian Champion Sash. This will equip to our Freedom Fighter, and because he's +6, he's going to be able to kill most warriors, so he's going to attempt to kill whatever warrior your opponent has. And Freedom Sash, when it destroys a warrior, you get to draw a card. We drew a Liger Claw here. Not the best, but we'll make it work. Now, we have a couple of warriors, a lot of fortifieds, and a couple of cards that aren't really helpful in our hand right now. So in this instance, I am just going to set our Thornhaven Fandorian Falls, set our Leather Striders, and set our Increase the Pressure. And then we'll simply just end our turn there. Now, we are feeling pretty safe here because our opponents aren't going to have any keywords. If they activate a keyword in response, we can attempt to negate it, and this is just some setup for next turn. Now, next turn, we'll be able to search a lot with our with our outposts, and draw an additional card with our Champion Sash, so we're looking to be in a pretty good position here. That's just kind of an example of how you can play with a not-so-optimal starting hand. For this last scenario, we're going to assume that we're going to start our turn 3 and attempt to kill the opposing player. So, we're going to start our turn by piercing our veil. It's going to search our deck for any Fandorian warrior who can script them. Now, because it's our turn 3, we've gone through most of our deck already, so our options left are Ful'Tigra, Ful'Clona, or Fulgos. We also have a Full Spirita and a second Fulgos, and a Freedom Fighter, but really, one of these first 3 is going to be ideal here. In this case, because of our board state and what's in our hand, I'm going to choose the Ful'Clona. Ful'Clona will Wisdom. Now, because we're trying to kill here, this Fortified doesn't help us, so we're going to choose to take this warrior. Now we'll draw a card for turn. Fandorian Gjallarhorn. Unfortunately, we have one Ful'Jama here. We have both Ful'Jamas in our discard pile here, both Full Spiritas in our hand, and Full Paxa on the board. So this Gjallarhorn is functionally dead at the moment. So let's start our turn. First thing I'm going to do is this Ful'Clona with a machete on him. I'm going to attach a Champion Sash to him. Now, he's going to declare an attack onto my opposing warrior. That warrior is going to die, my opponent's going to take a little bit of retaliate damage, and I'm going to draw a card. I've drawn a Ferocity. Not great, because that doesn't help us much here. Now, Machete allows us to attack again by sacrificing the warrior. However, first, I'm going to use this Ful'Clona to kill the other opposing warrior. They're going to take a little bit of retaliate damage, and will have attacked for the turn. This Ful'Clona will now attempt to attack again by killing this Ful'Clona. And this Ful'Clona will just attack directly to my opponent's face. Machete forces you to sacrifice a warrior in order to attack it. Now, Machete gives +3 attack, and these each give +2, and he's a base of 1 attack. So currently, he's attacking for 10 in the face. We'll assume our opponent takes this. Full Paxa is going to be our big winner here. We're going to activate a Fandorian Keep, and search your deck for any Fandorian card. We're going to grab Fandorian Machete. Machete was added to my hands by a Fandorian card, so I can pay Bloodborne 6 and attach it to Full Paxa, which I will now. Next, I'll activate my first Fandorian outpost to search again. We're going to search for a Liger Claw. Our second outpost will then also search for a Champion Sash. Now, these will both get attached to Full Paxa. Next, we'll activate our special ability, creating 2 Sapphire Lagers, and giving our Sapphire Lagers +2 attack. We'll activate our synergy, Fandoria Never Falls. This lets us revive up to 2 warriors, and manifest up to 2 tigers. Here, we'll choose to manifest another tiger. Now that we have 3 tigers on board, Baruch is going to be activated, targeting our Full Paxa. This says he can attack an additional number of times, equal to our Lagers. Now, because Baruch has a base power of 5, a Machete for +3, a Liger Claw for +2, and +2 from 3 outposts, he's attacking for 16. So he's going to declare an attack 4 times on my opposing Warlord. Assuming they have nothing to say about it, they're going to take 16 4 times, and realistically, they're going to die at this point. So congratulations, you've just won the game. Even if you haven't yet, you have a Sapphire Liger dealing 7, a Sapphire Liger dealing 7, and another Sapphire Liger dealing 5. They're going to be put in a pretty bad position, so even if they don't die from this, all of this damage, next turn, you can just activate Fandorian Ferocity immediately, and they're going to take 5. Statistically speaking, almost every warlord in the game will be dead from this.
That's a total of what?
Yeah. So this is enough damage to kill every warlord in the game.
Statistically speaking, they're all dead.
So congratulations, you've just managed to win with Ful'Tigra, one of our newest hero warlords. Our newest hero warlord. Our newest structure deck. Out of your additional cards that were added into the deck, these 5 I recommend adding into your main deck. First off is Mist from the Fata Morgana. You can target 3 cards in target player's eradication zone and shuffle them back into the deck. This is really good to reset your Fandorian Champion Sashes. It also says all warlords cannot take any battle or effect damage by an opposing player until the start of the next turn. This is really good because it essentially prevents you from dying and buys you another turn. Next, Sealer Fade and Dismantle, these 2 here. These are just some generic bounty negates that are really good and typically go in most decks. Finally, welcome to Alberdun. This heals you for 5. It says your warlord cannot take battle damage, so it's a similar effect for not dying. And also says all players draw cards, so it replaces itself in your hand immediately. Next up, let's talk about how you might go about upgrading your deck. These 4 cards here are actually older cards that were reprinted for this deck. Now, in other sets, they do come in foils. Flacona here, he comes in the set Frontiers. Dryad Phalilia and Fandorian Ferocity are both from Guardian's Creed. Fuljama is from Elder Legends Providence. However, that set is currently sold out, so you might only be able to find copies of him on the secondary market. Other cards coming in newer sets, Masquerade of the Macabre and Wintertide Wonders 2025 have some great upgrades for the deck as well, so be sure to go to legionstoolbox.com and look through those sets to find them. Now that you've learned how to play Sapphire Empress, what all the cards do, and how the deck wants to function, you're all set to go play. Once again, a big thank you to Legion's Realms at War for giving us a copy of this deck a few days early to get this video out to all of you. I've been Sylas, and thank you for watching.